Hi, I'm Brett Heuke, and I am giving you this presentation on empathy and leadership. This is from my senior seminar class on empathy. I chose to talk about this topic because I think empathy is extremely important in leadership, and leaders need to show some kind of skill in empathy so that they can make the best decisions based on everyone's thoughts and emotions. This will help complete a job in a timely manner, and really the work quality will be better if leaders show some kind of skill and empathy. As we move on in the PowerPoint, I will give you ways and skills that leaders can show to improve their empathy, and then I will give some examples on effective leaders and the success that they've had. Our first skill are the perspective taking skills. Perspective taking is a particular attitude toward or way of regarding something. This is someone's point of view. So with having perspective taking skills, you are really putting yourself in someone else's shoes. And this is what leaders need to do to effectively lead their subordinates. And it's really not hard for leaders to do this because they've had to go through what their subordinates have had to go through at some point in time, because they didn't just start out in a leadership position. In a study done by Epley, K. Sayre, von Boven, and Gilovich in 2004, they said that leaders need to move away from egocentric way of thinking. Egocentrism is thinking of oneself without regard for feelings and desires of others. The authors also theorize that people will adopt others' perspectives by adjusting from their own. As leaders rise through the ranks, they form experiences based on what they've had to go through. As I've said before, they can use this to better understand what their subordinates may be thinking and feeling. This perspective taking will help leadership by giving them the understanding on how their orders or attitudes will affect their subordinates, like I said, because they've gone through it before. In the next slide, I'm going to give you some examples of effective leaders. These examples will come from Alan Alda's book, If I Understood You, Would I Have This Look on My Face? And these leaders deal in business. So the first example will come from Bill Gates. He stated that when he assesses how well someone is suited to their jobs, he looks at how well they relate to others, and relating to someone is a key aspect of empathy. Another example comes from Warren Buffett, and Warren Buffett manages over 300,000 employees, and he does so, as I'm sure we all know, very effectively. In the beginning, he was not the best at speaking in front of anybody, really, but now he can effectively get his point across to 300,000 people, and it's because he has some skill in empathy. He doesn't like putting out 200-page manuals, he says, because he's looking at people's thoughts and feelings. He understands that they're not going to want to read or assess a 200-page manual, and honestly, who would? He thinks it's best to get right to the point, so he won't lose people's interests or essentially their interests. He speaks plainly and is aware of the reader's state of mind. In 2001, Gulnaz Sadri, Todd Weber, and William Gentry collected 6,731 reports from subordinates on their manager's performance. They did this to find out how important it is for leaders to express an understanding of the emotions of those working below them. In the findings that they found, it shows a huge impact on managers who show higher levels of empathy. They are perceived to be higher performers. So in closing, I mean, you have the example right there that if a leadership does show empathy skills, their subordinates will, follow them, and their work will be of a higher quality.